Hey, you there? Yes, you who are dreaming of mastering English. Have you ever stopped to think that right now, millions of people around the world are sharing the same dream? But do you know what the difference is between those who just dream, those who achieve? Action! And you have already taken the first step. You are here, seeking knowledge. Let me tell you something. Everyone who speaks English fluently today started exactly where you are now. Do you know that moment when you hear an English song and only understand a few words? Or when you want to express something amazing but the words just don't come? I know exactly how that feels. And that's why I'm here today, to share with you not just tips, but a true guide to transformation. English is not just a language, it's your key to a world of possibilities. Imagine being able to talk naturally with people from different countries, land that dream job, travel the world without language barriers, or simply understand your favorite shows without needing subtitles. All of this is closer than you think. But let me be honest with you. Learning English is not like waving a magic wand and poof, you're fluent. It's a journey, an incredible journey, full of small daily victories, moments of discovery, and yes, some challenges too. But don't worry. I'll be here with you every step of the way. What I'm going to share with you are not just empty techniques or boring grammar rules. These are tested and proven strategies, adapted to your daily life, to your lifestyle. These are the secrets that polyglots don't tell you, the techniques that really work in the real world. And do you know what the best part is? You don't need to turn your life upside down or spend a fortune to learn English. All you need is dedication, the right strategies, and most importantly, belief in yourself. And trust me, if I can do it, you can too. So, how about we start this journey together? Get ready to transform your English learning into something exciting, enjoyable, and above all, efficient. Are you ready to take the next step towards fluency? Let's start with something that will completely change the way you learn English. Do you know the secret that no one tells you? It's making English a part of your life, not just another task on your list. First, let's talk about daily practice, but hold on. It's not that boring practice of repeating meaningless words. Imagine starting your day with a sincere good morning in the mirror. Sounds silly? It might be, but that's how your brain starts thinking in English naturally. It's like going to the gym. Every little exercise counts. And speaking of exercise, let's move on to ear training. You know that favorite playlist of yours? It's time to give it a refresh. Choose English songs that you love. Yes, those you already sing in the shower, even without understanding everything. The magic happens when you start recognizing words, then phrases, and before you know it, you're singing along like a true native. But hey, don't stop there. Netflix, YouTube, podcasts, these are your new best friends. Choose content that you really enjoy. Love cooking? Watch cooking channels in English. Fan of games? How about watching streamers play and comment in English? The key is to associate learning with something you already love doing. Now, here's a golden tip: reading. But hold on, you don't need to start with Shakespeare. How about starting with comic books? Or that book you already know and love, but in English. The images and familiar context are like a compass, guiding you through the text. And here's a secret that changed my life. Start thinking in English. Yes, you read that right. When you're doing daily tasks, narrate them mentally in English. I'm making coffee while you prepare your coffee. I need to buy groceries while you make your shopping list. This is how your brain starts processing the language naturally. Do you know that fear of making mistakes that everyone has? Let's turn it into your ally. Every mistake is a learning opportunity. Remember when you were a child learning to walk? You fell many times, but you kept trying. With English, it's the same. Stumbles are part of the journey. Here's a tip that few people share. Create your English environment. Change the language of your phone, your social media. At first, it might seem chaotic, but your brain will adapt faster than you think. It's like you're living in an English-speaking country without leaving home. And don't forget, your mind is like a garden. It needs to be cultivated daily. Learn a new word every day. But don't just memorize it, use it. Create a sentence, say it out loud, write it in your notebook. This is how the roots of knowledge grow stronger. The secret is to make English your daily companion, not your study enemy. Before you know it, you'll be thinking, dreaming, and even telling jokes in English. Now that you're already cultivating your basic English habits, let's take your learning to a whole new level. And you know what's even more incredible? Technology is on our side in this journey. Imagine having an English teacher in your pocket 24 hours a day. Sounds like a dream? It's reality. Your smartphone can be your most powerful learning tool. But pay attention. It's not just about downloading 50 apps and expecting magic to happen. The secret is to choose 2 or 3 apps that really match your learning style and use them consistently. You know that wasted time on public transport or in the bank line? Turn it into precious minutes of learning. Podcasts are your new travel companions. And no, you don't need to understand every word. The important thing is to train your ears to recognize the sounds, the rhythm, the melody of English. Here's a tip that changed my life. Find your tribe online. There are amazing communities of people learning English just like you. Imagine being able to share your doubts, achievements, and even your frustrations with people who are going through the same experience. It's like having a cheering squad supporting you. And let's talk about something revolutionary. Making friends in English. Language exchange sites and apps are like social networks for learning. You can find people from all over the world who want to practice English while you practice English. It's a genuine, fun, and extremely effective exchange. Who knows, you might make a friend in Australia or England. But beware of paralyzing perfectionism. You know that fear of only starting to speak when you're perfect? Forget that. Fluency is like riding a bike. You only learn by pedaling, even if that means a few falls at the beginning. A powerful strategy is to create your progress diary. But hold on, it's not that boring diary. It's a record of your small daily victories. Today, I understood a whole song without subtitles. I managed to order a coffee in English without stuttering. These small achievements are fuel for your motivation. Speaking of motivation, how about turning your favorite shows into a classroom? Start with subtitles, then switch to English, and finally, the big challenge, turn off the subtitles. It's like gradually taking off the training wheels from a bike. And here's a secret from polyglots: shadowing. It's simple. Choose an English audio that you love. It could be a TED Talk or a movie scene, and repeat it out loud along with the audio. imitating not just the words, but the intonation, the rhythm, even the gestures. At first, you might feel a bit silly, but trust the process. This is how your brain internalizes the language naturally. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. But just like at the gym, varying the exercises is fundamental. Alternate between different types of content, different accents, different situations. It's this variety that will make your English richer and more natural. Now that you're already navigating comfortably in the English universe, let's dive even deeper. It's time to develop those skills that will make people ask, "Wow, where did you learn to speak English so well?" You know that moment when you realize you're dreaming in English? Well, you're on the right track. But let's boost your learning even more with techniques that true language masters use. First advanced technique, controlled immersion. Choose one day of the week, let's call it English Thursday, where you commit to doing everything in English. From the moment you wake up until bedtime, your messages, your notes, your conversations, even if it's just with yourself, everything in English. At first, it might seem exhausting, but it's like a boot camp for your brain. Here's a powerful tip. Start thinking out loud in English. Are you cooking? Narrate your actions. Now I'm adding salt to the pasta. Exercising? 10 more push-ups to go. Sounds crazy? It might be. But this is how you develop real fluency, when English becomes as natural as breathing. And how about taking your vocabulary to the next level? Forget those boring word lists. Start collecting idiomatic expressions, those phrases that only make sense to someone who really knows the language. It's raining cats and dogs has nothing to do with cats and dogs, but every native speaker uses this expression when it's raining heavily. Now, a technique that will revolutionize your pronunciation, the talking mirror. Take an English text that you love. It could be a movie monologue, a famous speech, even an ad, and practice in front of the mirror. Observe your lips, your facial expression, your gestures. Body language is a fundamental part of communication in any language. Let's talk about something that few master, the power of micro-expressions in English. These are those little sounds that natives make naturally. Wow. They might seem insignificant, but they make your English sound natural, not robotic. And here's a secret from professional presenters. Record yourself speaking. Yes, I know, no one likes to hear their own voice. But it's like an athlete watching videos of their games. You need to identify areas for improvement. Use your phone to record short daily vlogs in English. Over time, you'll notice impressive progress. An advanced technique that I love is the actor's method. Choose a character from a series or movie that you love and embody their way of speaking. It's not just about imitating the accent, but understanding how they build sentences, their favorite expressions, their speaking rhythm. It's fun and incredibly effective. Speaking of acting, how about joining an English theater group? Many language schools and cultural centers have these groups. It's an incredible way to practice not just the language, but also confidence in public speaking. And finally, a technique that I still use today, the expert challenge. Choose a topic that you master. It could be your job, your hobby, anything, and prepare a 15-minute presentation on it in English. Record, watch, redo. This is how you develop specific vocabulary and confidence for professional situations. But in fact, this is just the beginning of your adventure with English. I'm going to share with you the most advanced strategies that separate good English speakers from extraordinary ones. You know that moment when you not only speak English, but live English? That's what we're talking about now. Imagine mastering not just the words, but the essence of the language, the cultural nuances, the subtleties that make all the difference. Here's a tip worth gold. Start thinking in layers. It's not enough to just translate words, dive into their cultural meaning. For example, when an American says, "How are you?" they're not really asking how you are. It's more of a casual greeting. It's these small cultural details that make your English sound authentic. Here's a master technique. Develop your musical ear for English. Each language has its own melody, its own rhythm. English, for example, is a language of highs and lows, like a roller coaster of sounds. Start paying attention not just to what people say, but to how they say it. And let's talk about something revolutionary, creating your English character. Yes, you read that right. Just like professional actors, you can develop a persona in English. Maybe your English self is more extroverted, more playful, more confident. It's a powerful technique that helps overcome shyness and anxiety when speaking. An advanced strategy that few know. The journalist method. Every day, choose a news story or event and try to explain it in English in 3 different ways: formal, casual, and humorous. This develops your linguistic flexibility and contextual vocabulary. Now, a tip that seems simple but is extremely powerful. Breathe English. Literally. Proper breathing is fundamental for good pronunciation. Natives have a specific breathing pattern when they speak. Observe, imitate, incorporate. And here's something that completely changed my English. Start dreaming big. Don't limit yourself to wanting to speak well. Visualize yourself giving a TED Talk, negotiating international contracts, writing a book in English. Your goals shape your journey. But remember, the real secret isn't in the techniques. It's in consistency. It's better to practice 15 minutes every day than 5 hours once a week. English is like a garden. It needs to be watered daily. And now, the most important conclusion of all. You are already a winner for having come this far. Every word you learn, every sentence you manage to form, every small progress is a victory that deserves to be celebrated. English is not just a language. It's a bridge to new opportunities, new friendships, new horizons. And you are already building that bridge, brick by brick, word by word. Remember, there's no I can't. There's only I haven't yet. Fluency isn't a destination. It's a journey. And you are already on this journey. So, what are you waiting for? The world is eager to hear your voice, your ideas, your stories in English. Start today. Start now. The bilingual future you dream of is just one decision away. And don't forget, every expert was once a beginner. Every polyglot started by learning their first word. Your journey is unique. Your pace is unique. Your motivation is unique. Embrace that. English is not just something you learn. It's something you become. And you are already becoming that person you dreamed of being. Keep walking, keep dreaming, Keep learning, because in the end, it's not about speaking English perfectly. It's about communicating, connecting, expressing yourself. And you already have all the tools you need for that. So, are you ready to embark on this incredible journey together? The world is waiting for you. Your time is now.